We made it to Koh Tao, which is known for having some of the best snorkeling in Thailand, and we're going to show you the difference between a jungle hostel and a hostel on the beach.
The first place we checked into is this jungle hostel, so I'm going to give you a tour right now. Warehouse Hostel Koh Tao is just 3 minutes from the beach, and you'll be able to recognize it from the bunker sign for the climbing gym that is part of the hostel. Behind me here is reception, a hangout area, the climbing gym, and even a pool table. So let's check it out. There's free pool, a restaurant, and the climbing gym where hostel guests get 20% off, as well as a reception desk. Now, to get to the dorms, there are a lot of stairs. So let's go there now. Oh, behind me, there are 3 dorms, 1 women's dorm right back there, and we are staying in dorm number B. So let's go check out the inside. Each dorm has its own common space outside, but the mosquitoes here are nuts. So there is one with a mosquito net. I haven't seen anyone using it. I think people just head out and go to the beach or go hiking here. Before we go inside, we do need to take our shoes off. And then there was no locks on the doors, they were just pushing. We are in the main kind of common space for the dorm. It's quite small. My arms almost spread across the whole thing. And these are the lockers for the bags. We have found that probably about a 50-liter bag could fit in this comfortably, plus like a couple other personal items. But some of the bags are a little bit too big and have made it onto the floor. They have provided everyone with locks, and there's a little deposit for that, but as long as you bring it back, it's no problem. This way is the bathroom. As for hostel bathrooms, this is not bad, and it keeps the warehouse vibe. In the front here, we have sinks in their designated space, and a nice feature about this bathroom is that there's dedicated rooms for everything. On this side of me, there's a shower, and on this side, there are toilets.
This bathroom only loses points with me because there's no soap, and that's just weird.
As for the dorm itself, we are in an 8-person cabin, so I'll take you there now. There are tons of windows in here, and this is an example of one of the beds. As for hostel beds, it's one of the comfier ones that I've slept on, and the pillow is also quite soft, I have to say. One thing that's nice about all of these beds is that they have a window on the back, which does have curtains, but if you have just a forest view, you can also leave it open while you sleep, and it's quite nice to wake up to the sun.
Tanner had the forest view, I had the bunker view, so one of us had the better of the options. And whether this is a positive or a negative for you, there is tons of wildlife around you at this jungle hostel. You can hear the chickens behind me, but we also saw a frog. There's tons of little geckos that'll be on the walls at nighttime.
And mosquitoes.
Spiders, so you get to see both the cute and maybe the not so cute here.
That was Warehouse Hostel Koh Tao.
And in the theme of today, we're about to go do a hike through the jungle. We've made it towards the hike. We had to pay a little bit of an entrance fee to get in. So
Only 50 baht.
So not bad. And we get access to both the hike and the beach that we're gonna go to later today.
So far, the hike is fully paved, so compared to some of the other ones we've done here in Asia, it's pretty nice. I think we have arrived to the official trailhead behind us. There are some houses that maybe this road actually takes you to, but it looks like it's becoming not paved.
This path should take us about 20 minutes to do, and supposedly it's supposed to be the best view in all of Koh Tao, so should be good. 2 minutes in and I'm already loving this view. Are you kidding?
Look at how blue that water is.
This is definitely a hike to come early for. It's only 9:30 in the morning right now, and we've only passed 2 groups of people. So hopefully that means at the top there'll be way less people than kind of the normal viewpoints if you go in midday.
We're not even at the top yet, and look at that.
Say, not as I do, definitely wear runners to this hike.
We've been seeing people in flip-flops the whole morning, so you can do it either way. I think we're making it.
Wow. Yeah, this was worth it. Not to mention we're only 2 of 5 people up here at this moment, so please, 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 if you're gonna do this, come early. It's so worth it.
And compared to the afternoon when most people are gonna do it, the weather is a little bit cooler in the morning, so also worth it. It's definitely starting to get busy and it's about 10 o'clock. If you can, just come in the morning. So far, the trekking down is a little bit more challenging than getting up, especially in flip-flops. And things are a bit slippery since it's so dry. That was the John-Suwan viewpoint here in Koh Tao, Thailand.
Definitely worth it if you go early in the morning. It was so stunning. There was not a lot of people. You didn't have to wait long.
And I think sunrise would be amazing there if you can get in. I'm not sure about that though.
We're gonna leave it here, and tomorrow we're gonna show you our beachfront hostel and then show you a little bit of the beaches and the snorkeling in the area. Hello. Welcome back. We just checked into our beachfront hostel, so let me give you a tour. First, we have our reception right here at the front. Similar to most of the hostels we've been in, we have a couch area for people to relax on, some tables to work at, and there's a pool table for people to play games with. If you go up the stairs, you'll find the private rooms, but if you follow me downstairs, you'll find the hostel dorms and our room. This hostel has an indoor-outdoor bathroom situation, so we have the sinks that you get ready at and wash your hands at outside. And then there's 2 wet baths for people to use. Because this is a beachfront hostel, there's some racks that people can dry their clothes on. And then just like the last hostel, this is where you take your shoes off. And then this was our dorm. Each of the dorm rooms sleeps 8 people, and if you can look this way, you'll see that there are not good organization for bags here. The lockers aren't big enough to hold the bags, so they're kind of taking up the majority of the room. One downside, but if you look at the bed, there was so much space, so we were honestly tucking our bags just to the side of the bed. This is like a wide twin bed. Very generous in space. Each bed came with a typical pillow and blanket, and they also had a light and an outlet. Those have been standard across all the beds that we've had so far. What is really nice about these ones is that they're concrete, so it actually kept the room pretty cool even when the AC wasn't on.
That is true, except for last night I was getting super hot. But the AC works really quickly here. It was about 10 minutes and back to normal.
Now earlier we mentioned that this was a beachfront hostel because when we booked it, that's what we thought it was. And it turns out it's more of beach adjacent. They have a cafe that is beachfront, so let me take you there now. This is their cafe that's literally right across the street. We got 10% off here, so let's go grab a coffee. I got my coffee, but now I'll show you how we actually access the beach from this cafe. It's a super high tide right now, but usually we can actually just walk out and along the beach from here.
All right, that was our beachfront hostel, but what other way to end it than to show you a secret beach here on Koh Tao?
We saw a video about a beach that you can only get to through following an all trails path. So we're about to go on a hike through the jungle to reach a private beach.
Let's do it. All right, we have made it to the trailhead, I think.
Definitely, we'll put the name on the screen of the hike. If you're gonna do it, pull it up on all trails because it tracks where you are and it lets you know if you're off trail. Very necessary here.
We almost went through someone's yard, I think. A local came up to us, like we looked confused. And so we asked, you know, where is this hike? Where is the beach? And he asked us, do we have food and water to make this hike? So I read that it was gonna be 2 hours round trip, and I'm starting to think that it might be a little longer than that. So
hopefully not.
We'll have to keep an eye on the time.
So far the trail, while very steep, is all paved, although very cracked pavement. And I heard on the reviews in all trails that locals will actually bike this and then tourists will hike it.
And I see why, because we have been biking around this whole island to many different places, and before we actually go to these places, we don't check what the hills are like. We just go. And I have to say, there are some incredibly steep roads that we have not gone on, because although we're like becoming skilled on the bike, those are still scary no matter what. I think no matter how skilled you are, because in Canada, there's limits to the slope of a road, but here, I think there's sometimes they're 80%. And back home, it's like 20% max on big roads. So it's very different, and it's very scary to hold the brakes all the way down a hill. But I can see why a local would do this, because we saw a kid the other day, 4 years old,
Learning how to bike.
Learning how to bike on a little toy.
They teach them early here.
Yeah. That's the second bike we have seen pit stopped on the side of this trail, and I'm thinking it may have been a tourist riding up very confidently and then seeing what was ahead of them, stopping and getting off and walking. We decided to dump our bike way back there. So far we're about a quarter of the way through. It's not a joke. These hikes here are crazy.
I don't know if you can hear the cicadas or whatever they are, but they are deafening loud. I can see the ocean.
We're nearly there. Well, we think Sierra may have gotten a spider bite.
Maybe a few.
Fingers crossed that they don't get any worse than a little mosquito bite. But we have arrived to the kind of ruins of what looks to be an old resort.
This looks pretty cool. It makes sense why there's paved roads out here. Because the whole trail, we've kind of noticed on and off paving that hasn't been maintained, and it's kind of strange to like have pavement all the way out here right by the beach when the whole trail hasn't been maintained, but it definitely makes it make sense.
This for sure was a old abandoned resort now that we're over here. I think it's really interesting how fast, you know, something can turn but also still look the way that it does, you know? And there's some people, so we know we're here. Well, we made it to the beach.
It is pretty spectacular. We're one of 6 people here, which, if you know Koh Tao, doesn't really happen. These beaches have been pretty packed unless you go at 8 in the morning.
Which is honestly a great option if you're not a big drinker, because get up early, enjoy the waves, the sun, or the not waves, the snorkeling, and miss the UVs. Then you don't have to wear sunscreen. If
you like a good 1 hour challenging hike, I definitely recommend coming here. It is super cool to just like come see an abandoned resort, be one of 6 people on a beautiful crystal clear beach. Like, I'm very happy we did this hike.
It's quite amazing.
That was our jungle versus beach hostel tour.
I think it was super cool, and Koh Tao is an awesome island to stay on. There's so much amazing snorkeling, which you can see in another one of our videos.
See you in the next one.